guys, welcome to another Dragon Ball Legends video. Right now the Dragon Ball campaign is going on, which I personally don't find interesting, and I'm probably not gonna do much videos about this except for the new characters that come out and look at their abilities. But yeah, since we don't really care about that celebration, we can think about what's coming next, and that's the Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary. So I'm gonna try to predict what they could bring this year. You can already see they have many tabs open here because and these are the units that I think could come up. For part 1, I also think this will be 2 LFs, part 1, 2 LFs in part 2, and an Ultra in part 3 as they did last year. And starting with the first unit of part 1, I think there could be 2 options, but the one I think is most likely, in my opinion, is Kefla. We haven't gotten a new Kefla for many years yet, and I think the way they could do this is either I think it should start as a Kale and Caulifla. We also didn't get really a sparking Kale that controlled her, Berserk form, so I think they should start as a tag character, and then they could do 2 things. Either they're going to make it as a kind of revival, comeback, whatever, where they get defeated, and you kind of animate this where they fell down and then they fused and jumped back up as Kefla, and then they immediately transform to Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. That's one thing they could do, or the Synchro Gauge, just like last year with Vegito and Gogeta Blue. I think these are the 2 options for how they could do Kefla. I think Universal Survival Saga, or Universe Rap, however you want to call it, is also a team that needs new characters, so I think this could be a good start. I also think if they make these 2 a revival character, they would also have already a good safety unit. I mean, they have the blue Super 17, not Super 17, the blue 17, MVP 17 with the plat equipment, so he could also be fine, but he's kind of rushable for units like Demon King Piccolo, who could get better later on, or the Red Ultra Cell. So that's why I think a revival, or however they want to do a comeback, whatever, could be really good. And but also doing a Universe Survival Saga campaign, they could finally Zenkai the blue Topo or blue 18, so that the blue's MVP 70 finally gets a Zenkai buffer, which it's time that he gets one. Now the second unit or units that I think of that could be really cool is an Ultimate Gohan who is a tag character with Piccolo. Now this Gohan here is from the fight against Goku before the tournament started, but he counts as the Universal Survival Saga, but we haven't gotten Ultimate Gohan who fought in the tournament. So I think that could be really cool. And as far as I remember correctly, I didn't check this before I make this video, but I think Gohan fought the 2 Namekians of Universe 6, and then Piccolo finished them off with the Special Beam Cannon. I don't know if Gohan made an attack at the end too to finish them off with, or Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon was the last move, but I think that could be an opportunity to make them how did they call it, standby mechanic, with LF Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think they could do it like that, but I would change some things in how their preparation mode, I think that was it, how that works. So what I noticed, and for myself, is sometimes I want to tag switch, but if I keep tag switching, I'm gonna fill up the preparation mode thing, and you can't control when you activate it. But because if you tag switch and it's full, you automatically go into preparation mode, and that's something that I sometimes don't like, because I want to keep it but I also need to tag switch because color advantage and so on. So what I would think they should do is they could, when it comes to building up the preparation mode, it should be like Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or the tag Gammas, just like them. But I think activating the preparation mode should be like the active skill gauge from Beast Gohan, that you yourself have to press it in order to activate the preparation mode. That way, Gohan and Piccolo could still tag switch even if the preparation mode gauge is full, and you don't have to worry about that. What I also think would be really nice is if they could either do it like that, or they make it be able to activate multiple times. Because what you also don't want to do is sometimes you want to have an LF with this unit, obviously, and if you can't control the preparation mode and you sometimes have to use it, you kind of have to waste it and you don't get the LF, which is already hard to get because people just quit if they know they can't win, and sometimes you have to kind of build up the preparation mode as a kind of end game when the last unit is still alive and so on. So yeah, I think it would be nice if it maybe activates multiple times, but to compensate that it activates multiple times, maybe it doesn't attack all enemies but just one, and maybe it's as strong as the usual ultimate, I would assume, or something like that, so that you at least have multiple chances to activate it and then get an LF from it. Either that or what I said before with the where you have to click yourself to activate the preparation mode. And yeah, as the LF, you know, you have then Piccolo killing with the special beam cannon. I think Gohan used the Kamehameha before, and they kind of blocked it, and then Piccolo came with the special beam cannon. But I'm not quite sure anymore. But I think that's what I would do. Yeah, either Kefla or these two as a tag character for the first LF for part 1. As 1% Sparkings, I think they could do like, how was it called? Godspeed or Lightspeed Dispo? I don't know what it's called, I didn't check. But I think we don't have that in the game yet, so that could be really cool. Or they could do a 1% Sparking hit, because we don't have a hit from this tournament either. So that could be two options they could do as their 1% Sparking. And now for the second LF that would come out with them, I have multiple ideas what it could be. Or maybe should, I don't know. The first one that came to my mind is Gohan Buu Absurd. Buu Gohan Absurd. And yeah, for one, I think this character didn't get much representation in Dragon Ball Legends yet. The last good one was the green one from first anniversary. This one was kind of immediately after Legends Anniversary. I don't know which year it was, but I know his banner came out right after the anniversary together with Tien, which who's summoning for that. So, and he wasn't that good either. I think his teams also weren't in a good spot back then, so this guy wasn't really that good. And we only have one. The other one left was the purple free-to-play one. So I think Wuhan needs more representation in the game. And that I know people hate Majin Buu Z because last year they pushed this team to the max, but I think Wuhan is hype enough to deserve a part 1 LF. And also what they could do, which would be really cool and would be something very new, is do multiple transformations with this character. Maybe let them start as Super Buu, who can go to Buu Tanks, and then to Wuhan, and then maybe even to Kid Buu or whatever. But that would be really something new for the game, to have multiple transformations in a fight for one character, and that would hype up the anniversary. That's why I picked him, because I think he has the was the best way to have to be more creative for the Legend Anniversaries Part 1, and Part 1 is the, where the people need to get hyped up the most, so I think doing that would be a great start as Part 1, together with each one of these two units I mentioned before. Even I think that would be more cooler, but I think Kevlar deserves it more to be the LF, but, And as a second option, what they could do if they don't want to do Wuhan or a Boo multiple transformation, however you want to call it, is to go with the Fusion Reborn movie and do Synchro Gauge, Vegeta and Goku who transform to Super Vegeta. Very simple thought. I think that would also be hype because it's a fusion character. Fusions are hype, and yeah, either that or what I personally thought should have been in Legends Fest as Part 2 if they wanted to do a Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Fusion Reborn, who we also don't have in the game, who fought against Janemba before he transformed into Super Janemba. So the Goku who fought against the fat one, who has his finishing, I don't know how its finishing attack was called, but the attack where he flew and came up and hit him with two fists. I think it was also kind of Dragon Fist attack name, I don't know, where he defeated the fat Janemba. I think that would be a cool F. It should have been a Legends Fest because that would have been way better, but another topic. But I think this is also a unit, again, we don't have him in the game at all, this Goku, so that would be really cool. And then as a 1% sparking, a Vegeta, a Super Saiyan 1 or Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, I don't know. A Vegeta, that would be fine, I think. Also really cool. But if they go with him as a Synchro Gauge unit, I don't really know what they could do as a 1% sparking, except for another Janemba or Pycon, because there are not really other characters active in this movie. So, oh, they could do a Fusion Reborn Gotenks, a Super Saiyan Gotenks. That could, who didn't really fight people, like really, but they're also, you could see them in the movie. So maybe do that, give them some attacks, I don't know, and yeah, that would be an option. And the last thing I thought about wouldn't be really that hype for an anniversary, I think, but this has more to do with what I think could be for Part 3 as an Ultra, and I will explain that then later, and that's Oop who revives or succeeds, whatever, to Maju. That's what I think could be. It's, hey, another fusion character, so maybe they could consider it, but I doubt this will happen, but that's because I don't think people care about Oop, really. But would be a not Saiyan character for once in a while as a Part 1 unit, so... And I like GT. Maybe, yeah, I know it's biased here to put him here, but I think it could be connected to what I think could be Part 3, so I will talk about him later. For Part 2, now the first thing I would say they must do, I don't think that should be an option, I think they should do this 100%, is a game original character. I don't know which one, I don't care which one. I mean, okay, I do care because if I could choose, I would say Cooler and Freezer, because I like them. But besides that, it should be definitely a Game Originals character. I don't care what they pick. Let it be Swordophobe Trunks and Future Gohan. Let it be Future Gohan and the Gohan from our timeline. I don't care. Z Broly and Super Broly, like there are different options they could do as long as they do a game original character. They could even do Shallot as an LF Sonable character. I don't care, as long as the game originals character. They brought this idea and they haven't use it the last year entirely, which is, in my opinion, a crime. If you give us that one time, you should at least use it the next year because this is hype. Now, the banner could be the problem, maybe then, because the last time they brought this with Goku and Bardock, banner was horrible, but maybe they would change the format, but their game original character for part 2 as one of the layers. Most definitely. Please do that. This guy could also go up as a part 2 if you don't want to put him in part 1. But the next character I thought about, and this is where I kinda ran out of ideas, because this game is 7 years old, is approaching 7 years old, and every hype character is kinda in the game. So I've only thought about LFs that we don't have yet and could maybe be okay. So I thought about number 1, this Goku from the Broly, from the first Broly movie. We haven't gotten another one. This is the only one we have. I think his final blow against Broly would be a cool LF they could do. And yeah, that's why I picked him, because we don't have that yet. I mean, we have the fist attack from him, but not as an LF, and I thought that would be cool. Or from the Super Cyborg 13 fight, this Goku who absorbs the Spirit Bomb, and also this one punch beats the enemy. But yeah, that would also be a legendary finish we don't have, so I think that could be also a good part 2 character. And yeah, I don't have really other ideas. I also thought about maybe in Metal Cooler as a legendary finish character, but I don't think that's hype enough for a part 2 anniversary. And yeah, I know people will say this guy is also not hype for that. It's my video, let me have it. And yeah, this is the only option I could think of. I also think they could do Daima and bring Goma, but I'm kinda fed up with Daima right now, so I don't want to see that. If the team is good enough, let it be as it is. So, and for part 3, I only see really 2 or 3 Ultra options, but there are 2 where I'm like really confident it's either one or the other. The first one is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think that's easily hype enough for an anniversary. People maybe don't like GT, but I think most people can agree that Super Saiyan 4 is one of the coolest transformations ever. So I think he deserves one, as could be an Ultra for the 7th anniversary. And this is why I thought maybe Majub could be a thing, or a GT character, because, you know, get the GT team going, you can't just put the Ultra there. That's why I thought maybe for part 1, Majub, so also people have time to, you know, summon for part 1, get new CC, and then be ready for the Ultra, and not having in part 2 where then immediately comes Goku and you have to summon back to back and you can't have both characters. That's why I thought it. Similar to like Legends Fest, where they brought Tag Evo Kaioken and then later UI Goku. People had time to summon in the part 1, skip part 2 if they want to, and then summon for part 3. And speaking of UI Goku, this is the one I thought is most likely gonna be the part 3 Ultra, and that's MUI. He's hype enough, definitely. I wouldn't summon for him because I'm not caring that much about UI, but that's just me. But generally speaking, he's very hype. He definitely deserves an Ultra and is definitely worthy for an anniversary Ultra part 3. And I think between those 2, I think it's most likely, I think it's UI, most definitely. But if it's not him, I think it should be him. So yeah, these are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think, and maybe write in the comments who you guys think could be coming. Also, who I didn't mention, there are probably some units I forgot that could also be really hype, but just didn't come into my mind. But these are the characters that I thought about, and yeah, But that's it for me from this video. Wish you guys a nice day. See you next time.